Hi. Hello. Okay. Today's today's this video session, whatever you want to call it, is going to be addressing a question I was emailed for another organization. How has my attitude about HIV changed since my diagnosis? I will say it has changed from fear to empowerment. It has changed from hopelessness to abundant living. It has changed from darkness to amazing, blinding light of awesome. And one thing I will say that really floors some people because they just don't get it if they don't take the time to know somebody who's HIV positive, but I wouldn't change a thing. Nothing. Everything that has happened to me in my life has made me the person I am now. And if it weren't for the bumps and hard knocks of life, I don't think I'd be at a point where I love myself. I love me now. Like, I didn't love myself when I was 16. I didn't love myself when I was 20. I didn't even love myself after I became a mother. Like, I was wrapped up in being a mother, but I didn't have my own identity as Kamaria. It took a lot of heart-wrenching situations, some loss of loved ones, some, whether it be death or a choice. It took people telling me about myself. It took me drawing nearer to God. And the product that is sitting here right now loves her life. Oh yeah, I'm tired a lot. But there is no rest for the weary. And I'm a firm believer of that because I feel like as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in life and helping others to thrive and live abundantly, the weariness is worth it. So that's how my attitude has changed since my diagnosis. I was diagnosed in 2003. My diagnosis came from a one-night stand where the other person lied about their identity. To this day, I still don't know who they really are. I got pregnant a year later from sleeping with this person, from someone else, and immediately came home to take care of it. And things kept happening where I couldn't afford to take care of it, and I was forced to face reality of being a mother. But in the meantime of that, I was hiding my pregnancy, and about 5 months go by, and I'm not in prenatal care, but I delivered my child full term. 2 weeks late, actually. Not happy about that. But I'm sorry, not 2 weeks. It was 2 days. It felt like 2 weeks. But I delivered a baby girl, and at this point, at about 7 months pregnant, I was like, I'm gonna be a mom, and I was excited, and I wanted to breastfeed and take care of them and be the best mom ever. And 2 weeks after bringing her home, I was notified that if I was attempting to breastfeed, I needed to stop. And the funny thing about that is I had tried to breastfeed. She wouldn't latch on to my breast, but I had a breast pump, but she would spit up the breast milk. So I'm like, I guess she doesn't like breast milk? Or am I doing something wrong? So I began giving her formula, but I wasn't breastfeeding. But when I got the phone call that any attempts I'm making to breastfeed to stop, I was like, oh no. Because there was this internal voice in me that was always telling me something was wrong, not quite right with me. And I didn't want to know what it was. I had a healthy baby. All my fingers and toes were there too, so I wasn't really wanting to know what was wrong with me. But anyway, I got the phone call. I went in and they sat me down and they explained to me that a baby is born with their mother's immune system. It takes 6 months to a year for some babies. Some babies take a whole year to develop their own immune system. And I had to have her tested at a specialty hospital in another county for a whole year, every 3 months. So depressing, that drive every time. Going there, having vials and vials of blood taken, leaving, no answers. Finally, in July 2004, they told me my daughter was negative, and all the depression, all the guilt, some of the anger just left, because now I didn't have to carry, baby, I'm so sorry for what mommy did to you. I didn't have to carry that anymore. Now that I've learned as a mother, there's 50,000 other things your kid's going to blame you for. So it is what it is, but at least it's not HIV, praise God. So I changed my life. I knew I had a life to live, and I was given a second chance. God's grace was on her to not develop HIV, because given my circumstances on paper as a statistic, she should have had it. I had no prenatal care. I was already infected. I had tried to breastfeed, and I had her naturally. So she had all kinds of opportunities to be infected, but God is that good. So that helped my attitude change a lot, to see the hand of God work directly, specifically in my life. Helped. It's one of those things science can't really explain. They try to, but they can't really explain it. So I take it for what I take it for. There's going to be others that disagree with me. They'll be able to show me numbers and, I don't know, cells and whatever they want to show me, but I know that I know that I know. It's nothing but God. So from that point on, it took me a little while longer to actually get to a point where I could speak publicly about it, but inwardly, now I was in survival mode, and I was fighting as a mother. I didn't want anybody else's child to have to go through this. I saw what it did to my mom. I recognized that the place I was in my life, a college student, single mother, this was a concentrated area of population area. This is a concentrated group of people that this could easily happen to. I mean, I was a good girl in college. I was in a committed relationship, what I thought was mutually monogamous, when I got pregnant. So it can happen to anybody. No one in this world should think that they are not susceptible to getting infected with HIV. Your risk is lowered if you're not participating in particular activities, such as having sex, such as sharing needles. But then you have, your work hazards if you're a nurse or a doctor. But everybody has a possibility of risk. That's just how I see it. However, it is so ridiculously preventable in most areas that the numbers shouldn't be what they are. And that's caused my attitude towards HIV to change as well. When I'm out there educating and pouring my heart out and sharing intimate details about how I was infected and what I went through, and then 5 years later the numbers are doubling or not decreasing the way I want them to. I mean, they're not as bad as they used to be, but they're not where they could be. Especially in your rural areas and your black female numbers, it just pisses me off, because I know of two particular populations that we are not addressing on a public level that frustrates me. But I'm learning to pick and choose my battles. to pray first before I speak my opinion on how I want to see things changed, and that if I want to see things changed, to start quietly from the inside out. That is all I'm going to say about that. But my attitude towards HIV is that I wouldn't change a thing about my life, but I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. There's some bittersweetness in it. It's made me a better person, but then it's taken away my ability to help others the way I want to. Like, I would love to be a blood donor, and I can't. I'd love to be an organ donor, and I can't. If my child gets some rare disease and needs bone marrow and I'm a match, I can't help her. And that's so unfair. That's one of the things I hate about the virus. I absolutely hate it. It takes away your ability to help others. But then you have to take that, you have to take whatever it tries to take from you and pour it into something else. So when it taking my ability to help in that capacity, I can still talk about it. I can still make a difference by sharing things like this, and being asked questions, and being able to do a video and post it and hope that somebody out there is listening and cares enough to help others like me in the fight. So that is how my attitude has changed. It is for the good. When I think about that, I get really mad. So forgive the tears. But thanks for asking the questions. Thanks for caring about people with HIV. We need it. We need the support and the love, not the judgment, the ridicule, and the stigma. So keep supporting us, keep loving us, and live life abundantly. Thanks.